If you've ever written an essay, you know the process. A rough draft, a first draft, a second draft, until finally you get that real draft that gets it right. And surprisingly, racing games go through that same evolution. Take Need for Speed, for example. It kicked off in 1994 with The Need for Speed, a solid foundation, but it took 7 entries before Underground hit the streets and turned the series into a household name. Sometimes it takes a few laps to find your groove. Rockstar Games went through the same journey. Even Grand Theft Auto didn't find its true form until GTA 3, and San Andreas became the series' masterpiece just 2 entries later. Now, let's talk racing. In 2000, Rockstar dropped their first racer, Midnight Club Street Racing. It was a mix of high-speed chaos and house music energy, a fun first draft, but far from the final product. The series will refine itself over 2 more entries, each pushing the limits further. But it was the 4th game where everything came together. Real cars, real stakes, and a new engine that changed everything. Welcome to episode 17 of the Rockstar Takeover. Today, we're racing for pink slips in Midnight Club, Los Angeles. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. And if you're new here, welcome to the channel. I'm the Retro Phantom, Digital Handshake. I make video game retrospectives every Saturday, and right now we're deep in the Rockstar Takeover covering all things Rockstar games. We have in the pipeline right now GTA The Lost and the Damned, GTA The Ballad of Gay Tony, Max Payne 3, Red Dead Redemption, LA Noire, and we'll be ending off the year with Grand Theft Auto 5. If you want to stay up to date and support the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We recently passed 7,500 subscribers, which means we're just 2,500 away from our 10K goal. So if you want to be part of the journey, please hit that subscribe button. And if you learned something new or enjoyed the video, dropping a like really helps smaller channels fight against YouTube's algorithm. And hey, if you're feeling a little extra generous, you can always buy me a cup of coffee. With that said, let's dive into this. Now, this is not your first Midnight Club retrospective. Feel free to advance past this recap of the Midnight Club series. I'll give you a moment to do that now. Alright, let's rewind. In the 1980s, a man named Diego Angel had dreams of becoming a film director. He enrolled at Columbia College, Chicago, where he discovered a new passion, computer animation. Diego described computers as the future of art. By 1984, he moved with his family from Chicago to San Diego and founded Angel Studios, a small animation company. Throughout the late 80s and early 90s, Angel Studios worked on 3D animation for films and music videos, earning recognition for its impressive CGI work on The Lawnmower Man in 1992. On the side, the studio was developing tech demos for Silicon Graphics, a company that helped pioneer 3D computer graphics. One of Silicon Graphics' clients, Gino Takeda from Nintendo, was so impressed that he brought Angel Studios on board as one of Nintendo's Dream Team developers for the upcoming N64. That partnership led to 2 Ken Griffey Jr. baseball games in 1998 and 1999, and even a legendary port of Resident Evil 2 for the N64. Around this time, Diego Angel met Dan and Sam Houser, the founders of Rockstar Games. That friendship would completely change the studio's future. In 1999, Angel Studios developed Midtown Madness for Microsoft, a chaotic open-world racing game that stood out from traditional circuit racers. Rockstar took notice, and soon the 2 studios teamed up to create Smuggler's Run and, more importantly, Midnight Club Street Racing. Released as a launch title for the PS2, Midnight Club became a surprise hit, blending open-world freedom, underground street racing, and that signature Rockstar edge. By 2002, Diego Angel was ready to sell the company. Several big names were interested: Microsoft, Activision, and of course, Rockstar Games. But in November of that year, Take-Two Interactive officially acquired Angel Studios, bringing its 125 employees under the Rockstar umbrella as Rockstar San Diego. Their first project under the new name? Midnight Club 2. And this time, Rockstar turned the dial up to 11, faster cars, smoother physics, and a far more stylish presentation. But by 2005, the series went all in. Partnering with Dub Magazine, Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition became the first entry in the series to feature licensed vehicles, showing just how far the franchise had come since its humble beginnings.
Hi, this is Douglas C. Perry, Editor-in-Chief of IGN Xbox with Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition. Rockstar Games has been at this for a while. Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition is obviously the third in the series for the Xbox and the PlayStation 2, and in many ways, in most ways, this is the best game in the series. And it's certainly one of the most authentic, if not the most authentic, import tuner out on any video game system. So compared to Midnight Club 2, which came out about 2 years ago, that game offered some relatively goofy characters and stereotypes, no licensed cars, and almost no customization. Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition adds a customization feature for both the exterior of your car and your motorcycles, and the interior of your car, so you can change everything from the engine and the computer and the shocks to the tailpipes to intake. This game has 50 plus licensed cars. It has trucks, SUVs, tuners, exotics, muscle cars, and motorcycles, including choppers. And if you remember Midnight Club 2, the motorcycles were extremely fast and wily. Well, they've actually made them extremely fast, but a little less wily in this version. The city streets are wider, there's more traffic. The maps are entirely different, and they've got 3 different cities to go on: Atlanta, Detroit, and San Diego. You start off in San Diego, and luckily, because this is an open city game, you don't actually have to beat San Diego to get to Atlanta and beat Atlanta to get to Detroit. You'll sort of start off with all the powers from the second game: drift and power slide, in-air control, nitrous boosts, slipstream turbo, two-wheel driving, and weight transfer. And then as you progress, you'll open up these other moves: aggro, zone, and roar. But they don't really seem like they're that useful when you're sort of breezing through the first part of the game. They will become useful later in the game. Aggro is a move where you actually, the more cars you smash into, the more sort of aggro points you get, and the more chaos you can create. Zone is sort of like bullet time, where you can slow the time down and manage yourself through like chaotic car crashes and then zip out without getting touched. There are 4 kinds of races: city races, which earn you cash; club races, which earn you cash, cars, and some unlockables; and tournaments and hookman races. The hookman races are where you actually challenge particular characters in that city, and they actually help you progress through the game the most. Big red sort of flaming bonfires are posted throughout the city, and you can see them no matter where you are. The game also has a good sense of exploration. I think Grand Theft Auto has had a huge effect on all sorts of open city games, but it's also, and it's also had an effect on Midnight Club 3, which, unlike some other open city racing games, really gives you a reason to go out and explore. Each level has about 11 to say 13 icons that you can collect for something special afterward. So the exploration works with the big city, big open city structure, and I'm really thankful I put that in there. This game is really crazy. It's like you blast through everything. You smash into trees, lampposts, other cars. You're constantly hitting things. You're busting through things. You're kind of plowing your way through this huge set of cities that have tons of traffic in them, wide streets, and all sorts of stuff that sort of gets in your way. And you have to maneuver and figure out and strategize as to what things you can smash into and what things you can't. Because you're going to be going so fast, and there's going to be so much stuff in front of you, you're going to have to hit some of it. Let's go with the physics. The physics are in-house. Your car's rather light, except for, of course, the SUVs, and it's really good control. Like, say you get in a car crash and you want to redirect yourself, you hit one of the buttons, you spin around, and it zooms you right in the right direction. On the PS2 and Xbox, Rockstar San Diego has done a fantastic job of pushing this forward really, really hard. There's so many things going on screen at one time, all sorts of particles going on. It seems like hundreds of cars, particularly on the freeways. The game runs at 30 frames per second, occasionally stopping. For the most part, you really will get a sense of great speed, but I think it's not as clear and crisp and as shiny as I kind of hoped it to be, and it's certainly not running at 60 frames per second. The cars, however, look really good, and that's the most important part. So online, you can play on PS2 and Xbox, and the online is functional and has lots of good courses, lots of good games. There's tag matches, capture the flag with classic, split, and base war options. There's a paint mode, and the two new technical things that have made this better than Midnight Club 2. There's host migration. If you're the host and you start a game and you decide to bail, or your connection goes bad, the second guy with the second best connection will pick up that game, become the host, and it will be a relatively seamless transfer for the people playing. Then there's asynchronous joins, which means players can leave the race whenever they want, while brand new drivers can sort of enter the game anytime they want. Rockstar always focuses on great sound, great music. They really nailed it with drum and bass, dance hall music. The soundtrack's fantastic, particularly compared to any of the other import tuners or even arcade games out there. This is 100 times better. On the Xbox, of course, you're going to have Dolby 5.1, so if you have that system to back it up, it's going to sound really good. Dolby Pro Logic 2 on the PS2, of course, is the best that PS2 can get, so that's good as well. And Xbox fans will luckily get the ability to rip soundtracks, which was not in Midnight Club 1 or 2. So Rockstar listened to its fans in the second game in the series and added a bunch of stuff that they liked. Midnight Club 3 is a 9.2 on both the PS2 and Xbox. It's a fantastic package altogether, easily the most genuine, sort of articulate and true to the import tuner racing game that on the market, period. And the gameplay is all there. It's deep. It's actually huge. It's going to take you 18 plus hours to finish, and then you can play it online. So whether you have a PS2 or an Xbox, you're going to really like this game. Again, we gave it a 9.2, and we think you're going to really dig it.
Now that we're all caught up, let's shift gears. With the release of GTA 4, Rockstar finally showcased their new engine on a massive scale. Sure, Rockstar Tableton has technically debuted the Raid engine first, but GTA 4 was the moment we all remembered it. Before this, most Rockstar titles ran on the Renderware engine, the same tech powering classics like Vice City and San Andreas, but this time they introduced something brand new, Rage, short for Rockstar Advanced Game Engine. What's interesting is that this wasn't built entirely from scratch. Before there was Rage, Angel Studios, the original developers in Midtown Madness, had their own proprietary Age engine. When Rockstar acquired Angel Studios in 2002 and rebranded them as Rockstar San Diego, they began evolving that technology into what would become the Rage engine we know today. This engine would become the backbone for Rockstar's future, powering nearly every title released during the 7th generation of consoles. But while GTA 4 was grabbing headlines, Rockstar San Diego was quietly working on another project behind the scenes, a new Midnight Club. Their goal was to give players true freedom to pick your own path through the city, freedom to choose your own cars, your races, and your style. They wanted to create the ultimate racer, one that blended real-world locations with that signature Rockstar fantasy flair. In mid-August of 2000, players got their first glimpse of Midnight Club Los Angeles. It was still early, unfinished, and a little rough around the edges, but it was enough to get fans hyped for what was coming next. Panic, who was a producer of the game, when he was asked about motivations, he stated, "Our main motivation since the birth of the franchise has always been to give the player freedom, and to combine that freedom with an incredible sense of speed, to choose their own path, the vehicles they want to drive, and the races they want to participate in. We want to give the player option and choices beyond what was previously offered in racers." This thinking naturally led to including motorcycles, race editors, and vehicle customization, while later influencing the way we laid out the career modes, online play, and just about every other decision that has gone into the games. For us, the goal has been to create the perfect racing game, based partially in reality with real-world locations, and partially in fantasy, as the game allows you to drive incredibly recklessly. Now, we need to look at racing games during this time. Need for Speed Pro Street had just dropped, and it received mixed to average reviews. So fans were looking to scratch that racing itch somewhere else. With hype building around Midnight Club Los Angeles, Rockstar originally planned to release it in the spring of 2008, but on April 21st, 2008, the studio announced the game would be delayed to September 9th, 2008. And while you think people would be upset about another delay, this one actually worked in Rockstar's favor, because fans were already disappointed with Need for Speed. Good news, because the new release of Need for Speed Pro Street was bad. Midnight Club is a good game, and I have experienced that by playing the Midnight Club Dub Edition on PSP, and it's a subject for reoccurrence. Need for Speed is too commercial now. It's all about that Midnight Club. Need for Speed Pro Street was awful. Can't wait for this. Definitely getting it. Need for Speed hasn't been good since Hot Pursuit, but Midnight Club stole the show with Dub Edition. All the classic muscle cars and tunes were fully customizable, with rim sizes being the best. 70s Chevelle Royal Blue, white racing stripes, and huge rims was the best possible creation. But even after all that excitement, Rockstar hit the brakes again. The game was delayed a second time, moving to October 10, 2008. At this point, fans were starting to lose patience. Man, this is messed up. More disappointment. This game better be worth the wait. Hell, with this many delays, this game better be 99% perfect, error-free. That's very disappointing, but it's only a month. I'm a massive fan of Midnight Club, but I don't think these new set of screens don't look that fantastic. Hope they tie it up before release. As time went on, the delays kept piling up. In one article, it was stated, Midnight Club Los Angeles is having false starts like a student driver trying to master the subtle art of the manual transmission. After being initially announced for the release early this year, the game was pushed to September 9th, then again to October 7th. Now, the Rockstar Street Racer is being held back once again, as Take-Two today revealed another push for the game in its quarterly earnings report. With every delay, frustration grew. Fans began to vent online. Screw this, I'm getting 2K9. If you say you're going to do something on a day and then delay it to another day and then delay that day, you're going to risk losing fans. Personally, I like Midnight Club, so I'm not going to ditch out on it because of these delays. Honestly, get your stuff sorted out. Will Rockstar ever bring out a game on time? Finally, with one last push, the release date was locked for October 20th, 2008. After months of waiting, fans could finally hit the streets and cruise through Los Angeles. Before we dive into the mechanics, let's set the scene. This game does have a story, but it's not as fleshed out, so here's what happens. A man from the East Coast arrives in Los Angeles looking for a fresh start and a chance to prove himself. Known as the Player, he wastes no time driving in the underground racing scene. The game opens with a call from the LA City champ himself, Book, inviting the player to meet at Carney's Express Limited. From there, you're given your first taste of choice. 3 cars to kick off your journey. The 98 Nissan 240SX, the 83 Volkswagen Golf GTI, the 88 Volkswagen Scirocco. It's a simple decision that sets the tone for the rest of the game. Freedom, speed, and style. As you race through the streets of Los Angeles, your reputation grows. Eventually, you'll earn the right to compete for the title of city champ, taking on rivals and building your legacy one pink slip at a time. Midway through your career, Carol reaches out with news that Book has returned to defend his title. After proving yourself against regional opponents, Book challenged you to one final showdown at the Standard Hotel, the race that decides the next king of Los Angeles. With that, you're crowned city champ. But the grind doesn't stop there. The ultimate challenge comes when the champs of all 5 vehicle classes step up to test you. Oswaldo for motorcycles, Julian for tuners, Lester for luxury, Pete for exotics, and Marcel for muscle. And once you conquered the city, Carol calls again, this time with a business proposition. He offers to make you a partner, asking for $1 million to co-own his garages. In exchange, he gives you full access to everything inside, the cars, the upgrades, and the prestige that comes with it. It's not a story filled with drama or betrayal, but for Midnight Club, it's not about the plot. It's about the grind, the glory, and the streets that never sleep.
Later.
Later, baby.
Ah, there he is. Too big for the likes of me.
Whatever. It's good to see you, Annie.
And don't forget about putting that new intercooler in my Solstice.
See you later, sweetheart. Hey, wait a minute.
How can you leave now when the hotshot just turned up, huh? Aren't you two supposed to have some passionate romance, huh? Aren't me and you supposed to get into some big fight, huh? Isn't this Hollywood, huh? I spent the first 20 years of my life living under communism, learning how to live from the movies. Come on, show me something.
You're drunk. Bye, guys. Have fun.
So how you been, Carol?
Yeah, I'm good. Sitting here, luxuriating in all my money.
Yeah. Speaking of money, you still serious about your shop?
Absolutely. I just had it valued. Business is worth $2 million.
So $1 million buys me a 50% share, right?
And all your work for free. You get to show off, pretend to work for a living rather than gamble your whole life away.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Welcome aboard! Well, now I'm going to tell you a little story. This new guy comes to town, young guy. He gets befriended by this old wise guy, huh? The new guy, he got a little brain. He got a big ego. The old guy is very handsome. With a beautiful wife.
You're insane, Carol.
Now that we understand the story, let's get into the gameplay. Midnight Club Los Angeles takes us to a fully open version of the City of Angels, a sprawling map actually larger than all three cities combined for Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition. This time, Rockstar wanted the streets to feel alive. The city runs on a full 24-hour day-night cycle with dynamic weather, changing traffic patterns, and even time-based rush hours. Mornings and evenings are packed with commuters, while nights open up for pure uninterrupted street racing under the glow of neon lights. The Rage engine powers everything, and it shows. Rain slicks the pavement, puddles reflect headlights, and when you hit a corner too hard, you can feel the tires fighting to hold traction. The driving strikes a balance between arcade and realism. Cars have weight, momentum, and real punishment for mistakes. At high speeds, one bad drift can send you straight into traffic, keeping every race tense and skill-based. Cars also take visible damage, but instead of running back to a garage after every fender bender, you can use the quick fix feature to slap on some junkyard parts mid-career. It's cheap, fast, and ugly, but it keeps you racing. If you want that fresh off the lot shine, you need to visit a garage or gas station for a full repair. Los Angeles itself feels almost alive. Rockstar recreated real neighborhoods from Hollywood to Beverly Hills, from Santa Monica to the Pacific Coast Highway, with incredible attention to detail. You can blast down Sunset Boulevard, drift through the tight streets of downtown, or cruise along the coast as the sun sets. All of it loads seamlessly. No menus, no waiting, just the open road. In your garage, customization is everything. Every car, from tuners to exotics, can be tuned, painted, and upgraded to perfection. You can swap out interiors, install body kits, and tweak performance settings like suspension and gear ratios. It's not about looks, it's about feel. The in-game photo mode lets you capture your builds and upload them to the online Rate My Ride system, where other players could view, rate, buy, and sell cars in the community. Vehicle progression is broken into 5 main classes: tuner, luxury, exotic, muscle, and motorcycle. Each has its own handling style, strengths, and driving identity. As your reputation grows, you'll unlock faster groups, tougher races, and new parts to help you stay competitive. The city offers more than 10 types of races, from tournaments and series events to freeway duels and high-stakes pink slip matches. Every race type scales in difficulty, color-coded from green to red. The higher the risk, the greater the payout, and the more respect you earn on the streets. Rockstar also brought back special abilities from Dub Edition, giving you the choice of 4 unique powers. EMP, which fries nearby cars' electronics. Argo, making your vehicle indestructible for a short time. Roar, blasting traffic out of your path. and zone, slowing down time for the perfect control in tight corners. This time, these abilities aren't locked to specific vehicles. You can equip whichever one fits your style and switch them at any time at a garage. The reputation system ties it all together. Every victory boosts your rep, unlocking new events, opponents, and upgrades. The better you drive, drafting, drifting, and finishing strong, the faster your rank rises. AI opponents also scale with your level, keeping the competition fierce from start to finish. And of course, Midnight Club wouldn't be Midnight Club without the cops. But unlike previous games, they aren't scripted. They're reactive. Run a red light, clip a squad car, or go off road for too long, and they'll be on you. You can pull over and take the fine, or floor it and start a full-blown pursuit. The longer you evade, the higher the fine if caught, and if your car takes too much damage, you're automatically arrested. Exploration is also rewarded. 60 hidden Rockstar barrels are scattered throughout the map. Every 10 unlock a gameplay modifier. Things like infinite nitrous or slow motion driving. They act as cheat codes for fun, free roam sessions, though using them disables career progression. Online multiplayer took this series to the next level, supporting up to 16 players across Los Angeles. Game modes like Keep Away and Stockpile added competitive chaos, while new power-ups like Mirror and Random kept every race unpredictable. The seamless transition from career to online in under 10 seconds was groundbreaking for its time. Sadly, many of these features disappeared after GameSpy shut down in 2014, but at launch, it was one of the best online racers on consoles. And for the creative crowd, Rockstar added a race editor. You could design your own courses anywhere in the city, setting checkpoints, tuning difficulty, and even racing your friends on your own custom tracks. It doubled as a peaceful free roam mode too, letting players explore the entire map with no cops, no traffic, and no limits, just you, the city, and the sound of your engine echoing through the night. In 2009, Rockstar expanded the experience even further with the South Central DLC. This massive update added new neighborhoods, cars, races, and music, with a large portion of it released completely free. It was one of the most generous updates of its time, giving players even more reasons to return to the streets of Los Angeles. At its core, Midnight Club LA represented everything Rockstar had learned from years of experimentation. Speed, freedom, and polish all wrapped into one experience. It wasn't just about crossing the finish line. It was about mastering the city, knowing every shortcut, and owning every race on your own terms. Between the tight handling and the seamless world and the sheer style that dripped from every car, Midnight Club Los Angeles stood as the definitive evolution of the series. A high-octane love letter to street racing that still holds up as one of Rockstar's most ambitious technical achievements. Midnight Club Los Angeles originally dropped on October 21st, 2008 for North American markets and October 24th, 2008 for both European and Australian regions. This was for the PS3, the PSP, and the Xbox 360. So let's start with the PS3 version. This edition delivers a vibrant, fully open Los Angeles filled with detailed cars, dynamic lighting, and immersive environmental effects. It includes all the standard features and downloadable content, like the expanded map and additional vehicles. However, there are some technical differences compared to its competitor. The PS3 version runs at 960 by 720 scale resolution rather than a native 720p, which gives it a slightly softer look. The system's use of anti-aliasing helps smooth edges but adds a subtle blur to the image. The 360 version, on the other hand, stands out as a technical stronger port. Running at a native 720p resolution with multi-sample anti-aliasing, it offers sharper visuals and clearer textures overall. Frame rate stability during races is solid, with only minor drops during cutscenes or map zoom-ins. The gameplay experience is identical to the PS3 release, but graphically, the 360 edition edges ahead thanks to its crisp presentation and cleaner image quality. For players who care about technical performance, the Xbox version is often considered the definitive console experience. On the PSP, the game took a different form with Midnight Club LA Remix. This handheld adaptation reimagines the experience for portable play and even adds an entirely new city, Tokyo. Players can switch between LA and Tokyo, each offering unique races, car lineups, and environments. Naturally, the PSP version scales back the visuals. The map is smaller, detail is reduced, and camera angles are limited to a low rear view. The story and career mode are simplified for shorter sessions, cutting out cinematic cutscenes for faster pacing. Despite the hardware limitations, LA Remix holds up surprisingly well, running at a stable frame rate and offering a fun on-the-go version of Rockstar's street racing world. A year later, Rockstar released Midnight Club LA Complete Edition on October 12, 2009 as part of the PlayStation 3 Greatest Hits and Xbox 360 Platinum Hits. This version came packed with everything: the full LA map, all additional vehicles, expanded music, and every piece of DLC right on the disc. The Complete Edition also fixed several of the bugs and difficulty imbalances from the original release, giving players a smoother, more refined experience overall. Best of all, it allowed players to continue their career without having to start over, integrating DLC progress into a single unified save file. Performance-wise, the Complete Edition still holds up, though some players notice slight dips in loading or frame rates compared to the base game with DLC installed separately, mainly due to the heavier data load from running all content directly off the disc. Even with that trade-off, it remains a definitive version of Midnight Club LA, offering the most complete, feature-rich experience of Rockstar's premier street racer. When Midnight Club LA dropped, it crossed the finish line with mostly positive reviews from critics. Both Game Rankings and Metacritic praised the game's technical lead, giving it an average score of 82 out of 100 for the PS3 and an 81 out of 100 for the Xbox 360. The PSP's LA Remix version trailed slightly behind with a 79 out of 100, still earning strong marks for a portable racer. Critics widely praised Rockstar's detailed recreation of Los Angeles, calling it one of the most authentic city environments ever seen in a racing game at the time. Reviews also highlight the deep customization, stylish presentation, and its solid frame rate, especially impressive given the size of the open world. The soundtrack and multiplayer options received a special mention too, blending licensed tracks with the thrill of fast-paced competition across a living city. Game Informer scored it a 9 out of 10, applauding its speed, control, and atmosphere. IGN gave it between an 8.5 and 9.1 out of 10, depending on the region, commending Rockstar's polish and technical performance. GameSpot landed a 7.5 out of 10, calling it fun and ambitious, while Eurogamer gave it an 8 out of 10, praising the sense of freedom on the open streets. GameZone came in with an 8.5, and Game Trailers followed closely at a 8.7 out of 10, reinforcing the general consensus that Midnight Club LA was one of the best open world racers on the market. But not everything was flawless. Some critics pointed out slow texture loading when first entering the city, along with unbalanced difficulty spikes that made certain races feel punishingly hard. Others mentioned that the characters and dialogue leaned towards cliché, serviceable, but not particularly memorable compared to Rockstar's narrative-heavy titles. Still, even with those drawbacks, most agreed that Midnight Club LA delivered one of the most complete and technically impressive street racing experiences of its generation. It proved that Rockstar could take their signature open world design and make it work just as well at 200 miles per hour. When it comes to the average gamer, opinions on Midnight Club LA were passionate and often split. Many players loved the sheer adrenaline of the open world racing, while others felt the experience sometimes burned too hot for its own good. On the positive side, players praised the game's speed, scale, and realism. They called it one of the best-looking racing titles of its generation, with detailed cars, reflective streets, and an immersive sense of motion that made every race feel cinematic. The sound design also got high marks. The roar of engines, screeching tigers, and ambient city noise gave players that authentic street racing vibe that few games could match at the time. Many noted how the combination of graphics, sound, and freeform freedom made cruising through LA itself just as fun as the actual races. Gamers also appreciate the customization and depth. The ability to fine-tune rides, apply vinyls, swap parts, and even lose your car in pink slip races gave the experience real stakes. They admired how the map felt alive, full of recognizable landmarks and enough shortcuts to keep exploration rewarding. For some, Midnight Club LA was the perfect mix of Rockstar's attitude and high-speed chaos, but not everyone crossed the finish line happy. The biggest criticism from the average player came down to difficulty balance. Many found the AI brutally punishing, with some races feeling less like tests of skill and more like endurance challenges. Police pursuits also divided players. While realistic, the frequent interruptions between races made the pacing feel uneven at times. Others mentioned the arcade-style handling as a drawback, feeling that the game lacked the precision of pure simulators like Forza or Gran Turismo. Some players also criticized the grind-heavy structure. With fewer cities than previous entries, the repetition of driving through the same routes wore thin for certain fans. They missed the variety of Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition Remix, and a few even compared LA unfavorably to Need for Speed Most Wanted, saying Rockstar's focus on realism came at the expense of fun. Still, even among those mixed reviews, there was one thing everyone agreed on. Midnight Club LA had style. Whether you loved or hated the difficulty, the game's presentation, car culture, authenticity, and sense of speed made it unforgettable. It was a racer that didn't just want to entertain you, it wanted to test you. And for many fans, that challenge is exactly what kept them coming back. Now, here's the thing. I've always been a Need for Speed guy. That was my go-to when it came to street racing games growing up. Underground, Most Wanted, Carbon, those were my bread and butter. So for the longest time, Midnight Club just wasn't on my radar. I knew about it, I respected it, but I never really played it until I started this channel. And honestly, I'm glad I waited, because now I can experience what this series really was, a love letter to street culture, freedom, and pure speed. When I finally sat down and played Midnight Club Los Angeles for the first time, I was floored. Rockstar didn't just make another racing game, they made a statement. This was their opus, their masterpiece in motion. The city felt alive, the cars had attitude, and the difficulty didn't pull any punches. Every race felt earned. You couldn't just slide by, you had to master the city, learn its shortcuts, and feel the rhythm of the road. And yeah, Midnight Club has always been tough. That's part of its DNA. But this game turned it up even more, and somehow that made the victory taste even sweeter. What really impressed me was how Rockstar managed to do what so many developers struggled with. They built a racing world that stood toe-to-toe with the Need for Speed franchise. For once, Rockstar was the underdog. They were in Need for Speed's shadow, just like how Saints Row once stood in the shadow of GTA. And yet, just like Volition carved their own space, Rockstar did the same here. They didn't copy what was popular, they defined what street racing could feel like. Playing this game today, I see why so many fans held it close. It's stylish, it's challenging, it's unforgiving, but it's also rewarding in a way most racers just aren't anymore. And personally, I wouldn't have discovered that if it weren't for this channel. This journey, going back, revisiting these forgotten gems, and really experiencing them has opened my eyes to just how rich gaming history really is. Midnight Club LA wasn't just Rockstar showing off what they could do. It was proving they belonged in the conversation. Not as a studio just behind GTA, but the true innovators of the open world experience. And for that, this game earns a place in the high point, the crown jewel of the entire Midnight Club franchise. If you made it to the end of this video, I want to say thank you. It was kind of short of this go around, but still there was some important history that had to be discussed here. Over the next 2 weeks, we're going to be going over Grand Theft Auto 4's episodes. That includes the Ballad of Gay Tony and the Lost and the Damned. So if you enjoyed this video and you want to stay up to date on all our latest uploads, please hit that subscribe button because we are almost there at 10,000 subs. And if you want to support the channel, the best way to do so is by liking this video. Every like pushes this video deeper into YouTube's algorithm. And lastly, if you're feeling a little extra generous, you can always buy me a cup of coffee. With that said, this is the Retro Phantom, signing out.